Okay, we're on the plane going to Amsterdam. Delta One. Okay, here's our room at the Park Plaza in Amsterdam. Come in the door. On the left, you got a nice little coffee tea set up. Bathroom's just over here on the right. Shower, big enough. And a king-size bed.
You want to run this ship? Yes.
A small
Mechanic.
desk. But the nicest thing about this is right here looking out over Amsterdam Central train station, the main train station right here in the heart of Amsterdam. It took us a couple minutes to find where the closets are. It's right back in here where the coffee tea maker is. Closets here on the left. So it did take us a minute because they are well camouflaged in there.
Yeah.
Here we are in the 9 Canals district. Series of canals divided up by streets and bridges. You can see on some of these, they still have the old posts there where they have block and tackle rigged up. So these are originally warehouses for the merchants. Boats come up quay here, offload, and everything they hold up in the warehouses. And that's all shops, residences, tourist areas, and lots of canal cruises come through here. And today we're over here at the flower mart here in Amsterdam. All kinds of beautiful flowers for sale and bulbs for sale. Supposedly licensed, packaged for export to the US if you want to. We'd love to buy some, but we've had so much problem with squirrels digging them up and eating them. Really afraid to spend the money. So many choices here. Flower market stretches on along the whole length of section of canal. So you have plenty of options where and how to buy. There are lots of pretty old buildings, drawbridges, locks, and things to see and do. We flew in 2 days early before a 2-day pre-river cruise extension to make sure we got to the Keukenhof Gardens, the main reason for our visiting the Netherlands. That's a separate video coming soon. The King's birthday was celebrated while we were there, a huge party with everyone wearing orange in honor of the House of Orange, the family's lineage, and trashing the streets, but they did get to work on cleaning it up quickly afterwards. Everywhere you looked was a piece of art, recent history, and ancient history, and cute little things to look at. And there's the Victoria Park Place hotel that we stayed at. Kind of deceptive because you don't actually stay in this area. It's clearly marked as a Victoria Hotel. Instead, you enter in the side way down there and stay in. And then there are the nondescript building beside it. That, if you immediately go in the steps in the door, there's steps you have to go up. Kind of difficult for the mobility impaired. They do have this weird lift thing built into the floor for luggage and people in wheelchairs. They have to, I suppose. That and the fact that the check-in girl lied to us. They gave us a €10 voucher to use in the restaurant for dinner or lunch. And she specifically told us we could use it for breakfast. Restaurant was closed yesterday when we tried to go in for dinner. So we tried to use it for breakfast this morning and said, nope, can't use it for breakfast. Sorry, out of luck. So yeah, cannot and will not recommend them. Today we moved over to another hotel, the Barbizon Palace, just back over behind the trees there. That's part of our Ama Waterways pre-cruise package hotel. So just being in the lobby, it's a lot nicer, no steps to go right into. We'll see how the room is here in a moment. And here's a better view of the Barbizon Palace, where we're staying for the last 2 nights here in Amsterdam before getting on the Ama Lucia. And it's just a few doors down from Catholic Church there. All right, coming into our room here at the Barbizon Palace. No stairs to have to deal with. No, it is kind of a maze getting around to where our room is, but it's a big square. Come in, mirror, looks like closets here. Coffee maker, looks like a small fridge down there. Yep. Nice couch to sit on, which is a nice bonus. Nice big king-size bed. What are we looking out onto? Looking down onto one of the alleys. Going back to all the head shops in the red light district. Just back in behind this area. Artwork on the walls. Another little mirror right there next to the door to the bed to confuse Cindy. One in our room we had last 2 nights just really kept throwing her for a loop when she'd wake up in the middle of the night without any glasses on or anything. Nice sized bathroom here. And a nice sized shower. Rainfall head on Dutch in addition. That's nice. All right. Bigger room, nicer room. Not quite the view we had, but another nice feature I found out about our room here at the Barbizon Palace. You have a nice French balcony. Come out, look out over, and you can, if you crane your neck around, just see the central train station way over there. I believe that's a church there. Pretty clock tower on top. Old warehouse buildings here, converted into shops and bars, residences. And looking on down that way, more shops, restaurants, and whatnot. I just want to mention here of the 2 hotels we stayed at in Amsterdam, we enjoyed the Barbizon Palace, part of the NH collection. Minor hotels, much better than the other place we stayed at. Much nicer, friendly service, did not have any issues other than personal preference on how hard the bed was. And the checkout, they asked if we bothered to ask for a mattress topper, and we hadn't even thought about that. So they will accommodate if you do have problems with too hard of a bed. So it's a really great hotel. I strongly recommend them. All right. Our first day tour with Ama Waterways. Right here, showing us a lot of what we've already seen. Here's one of the old locks that separated the salt water from the fresh water. Yeah. Here's the other end of the lock, so going underneath the bridge. And the guide is saying that's the red light district. Groups are not allowed to go in there. So, this is one of the buildings that leaning over because the foundation's sinking down into the swamp. So you can see where they filled it in. And there's another leaning house that's leaning forward. You can see it there. The guide was explaining the house here on the left was built as a residence. The one on the right is a warehouse. The lion there symbolizes prosperity. This building is leaning so much, the city's pretty much said it's got to be redone somehow. So got some serious work to be done there. Saying first floor would be storing goods store, second floor living, and the upper floors storage with the hookup on top for getting stuff all the way up to the upper floors. There you can see him actually using the pulley for dropping some material down from the upper floors there. Looks like they're doing some renovations up there. He just went cleared up. This is one of the entrance towers for the city from the old defense walls here. After it wasn't needed for defense anymore, it became a meeting hall for the guilds. After that, it became the weighing house where weights would come in, be weighed before they could be sold off to make sure they got all the taxes. All being used as a restaurant cafe now. And now we're enjoying a very authentic stroopwafel right here in Amsterdam.
Keyword sharing.
I have to share?
Yes.
No. We also got to try some authentic Dutch apple pie with a thick enveloping crust. Looking for that recipe. In the end, Amsterdam is a big city with big city problems, just like any other. Oh, here we are, Zaanse Schans in Holland, Netherlands. Here's the entrance to the area, shops and stuff. It is, I understand, free to get into. Some of the old millstones used. Nice play area for the kids. And we're in Zaanse Schans in the wooden shoe factory. Look at all the different shoes they've got. All the way up, around, even hanging from the ceilings. Whole bunch of old different types of clogs used for different types, special occasions. And of course, lots of clogs for sale. Nicely painted, plain, simple, all different sizes.
Welcome to our wooden shoe workshop. I will show you how we make a wooden shoe out of this piece of wood. Dus já bem-vindos. Hoje vou demonstrar como se faz tamanco de madeira. And start off with, the type of wood that we use is poplar or willow. This is a piece of poplar. We use it fresh and wet because that makes it easy to cut. A madeira que usamos é o álamo ou trançadeiro. Esta aqui é o álamo. Como a madeira é molhada por natureza, fica fácil de trabalhar. Back in the day, wooden shoes were made by hand. Large knife on the outside, spoon scoops to pull out the inside. Antigamente eram feitos de pau, com grande faca por fora e brocas para madeira por dentro. It was a tough job by hand. It took about 3 hours, but with the machines nowadays, it just takes 5 minutes. E demorava 3 horas, mas com máquina, são 5 minutos.
Wow.
Só para desconto.
Hopefully a very old duplicating lathe. And for the inside, he uses this duplicating mortising machine. Wow, fully covered with diamonds. Supposed to be real diamonds. And they've got some really big shoes to try and fill out there for everyone. That's a windmill to help regulate the water levels. See, it's moving the little water wheel down there. Water from one side to the other. Hi there. How you doing? Good to meet you. Look at the baby goslings. Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, we did it.
Who's inside the windmill? Grinding up stone to make chalk or paint pigments, from what the tour guide was saying. View of the wheels and the gears going up. Jacking the sails up there with a fine, get the finest powder. Gets hammered by these nails down in here. Pulled by the ropes. To get to the upper platform, you have to climb this ladder, just like on a ship, to trim the sails. And here's the gears at the upper level. Again, operate another wheel that said used for different colored stones. Looks like you re-engage the hammers for the small hammer pot. Different view of the gears from up here. Here we are with the wheel to control the direction of the windmill. See the sails up there. And the rest of the village back over here. There's a pretty little launch. Gorgeous thing. Be fun to play around with. This windmill used to power a sawmill. It's not just mills for grinding things, but also for sawing. Helped make them some of the fastest shipbuilders back in the early exploring ages. And here's my sunshine lighting up a pretty little bridge. Alright, Sunshine Zaanse, the walk around outside is free, but like Colonial Williamsburg, you have to pay to go inside the buildings. Only here, you pay for each individual building. We got to go in a couple that were part of our group tour, but most of the places we didn't go into just because we didn't want to spend the money. Didn't look all that super interesting, just so you're aware.